deep left field. It's gone. That happened very quickly for the Houston Astros. Correa's got deep again.
You don't think there's any emotion in this game?
Ball was flying out of here today.
It just happens like that sometimes in baseball. Just put it in the rear view and come back and get a win.
Arrivals to Dodger Stadium in LA. The Astros take game one. Big game for Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa. They make their way in for game two. The 2020 American League Division Series is presented by Utz Snacks. It's the American League Division Series. Game two of the best of five between the Houston Astros and the Oakland A's. We play day baseball. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jeff Francoeur, Matt Weiner in a moment. Well, the Astros take game one of the series. In fact, they've won the first three of the postseason. It's clear postseason experience is on their side.
Yeah, the experience won out yesterday, and that offense for the Astros showed up, and that's what they needed to get this. And it all started at the top of the lineup with George Springer. 4 hits, Carlos Correa, all-star shortstop. Down year, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. And for them, the 1 through 6 hitters are core guys. 14 for 28, 8 runs, and 9 RBIs yesterday. Dusty Baker will tell you this offense is how we're going to win this series. We'll see what they can do in game two.
Well, keep in mind, the Oakland A's lost their first game of their last series against the Chicago White Sox. They lost game one of this series. Sean Manaea is on the mound today, and it's not a must-win, but it's a big start for him.
Yeah, we saw Bassett step up in the wild card game in game two. Manaea needs to do that for them today. Had a great September, went 4-0 with the 1-2-1, and had really been throwing the ball well. For him, he's got to find a way to keep the ball down today. We saw the power of the Astros offense yesterday.
Framber Valdez on the other side. He was big time in relief for the Astros. Now he gets the start in game two against the Athletics.
Yeah, he was. He had that sinker working through 5 great innings coming in for Greinke to get the win. But, Don, now this is his first postseason start. Going to be amped up. We'll see if he's able to keep the ball down and keep this Astros lineup off balance.
With more, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Matt Weiner.
Hello, fellas. To some extent, the pre-series script for this ALDS has already flipped. Remember, the A's had the 4th best ERA in the American League in the regular season, but they gave up 16 hits in game one, many of those scorched, and 3 home runs. While their bullpen, the best in all of baseball during the regular season, allowed 7 runs, although 4 of those were unearned after the Marcus Semien error. Contrast that with the Astros. Their bullpen was considered a question mark coming up, but through 3 games now, they've pitched nearly 15 innings without allowing a single run, while opposing batters are just 3 of 43 against them. It's very possible that if the ball continues to fly here at Dodger Stadium during these day games, the Astros have simply raised the bar offensively for Oakland to try to match. As Semien put it today, I think for us, it's about our offense outslugging them.
Thanks much, Matt. Dodger Stadium is the site. The Astros took game one. Can Oakland bounce back in game two? We'll find out next in game two of the ALDS. It's on TBS from LA.
Save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And by T-Mobile, connecting fans in all 50 states with America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile is your ticket to the game.
It's another beautiful afternoon as we play day baseball in Los Angeles. Ball was flying out of here yesterday. Expect more of the same perhaps today. Bob Melvin hoping for a win today as we check out the Houston Astros starting 9 for Dusty Baker. It's George Springer leading it off again. What a game. He had 4 hits yesterday. He's in center. Jose Altuve at second base. Michael Brantley, the veteran, is the DH today. Only change really. Alex Bregman is at third base. Kyle Tucker's in left. Carlos Correa is at shortstop with Gurriel at first base. Josh Reddick is in right field, and Martin Maldonado out of the 9th spot doing the catching. And it's Sean Manaea on the hill today for the Athletics.
Yeah, Bob Melvin turns to his big lefty for game two to get a win. Got off to a slow start this year. Next 7 starts was really good. Great in 5 September starts. He's going to throw a fastball, changeup, the occasional cutter. Something to pay attention to. Don hasn't pitched in 12 days. So we'll see how sharp he is out of the gate.
The alternate unis today for the Oakland A's. They're the home team here in game 2. Here's George Springer to lead off game 2. 4 for 4 in yesterday's game. Had 14 home runs during the regular season. Loves playing at Dodger Stadium. As Minaya is ready, the first pitch of this one's going to miss away, and we're underway in game 2 of the ALDS. What a day for Springer. He really set the tone for the Astros at the top of their order.
Yeah, 4 hits, big double.
Sends this one foul down the right field line out of play, and displayed some speed yesterday too, scoring a big run for the Astros.
Well, that's what he's done his whole career. He's been the guy that's kind of got this team going. You saw it yesterday, and Dusty Baker said it. That's why he's batting leadoff. He gets his team rolling. Expecting more out of him today.
90 degrees first pitch here today from Dodger Stadium, so it's on the warm side. 89 yesterday, and that's in there for a second strike. I want to call this a must win for Minaya because it's not, but it is very important that the Astros don't get a 2-0 advantage in this 5-game series. That is strike 3, and Springer knew it. Takes with him the first K of the day for Minaya.
Well, that great K by Minaya, catching him today. Sean Murphy behind the plate with the big home run. We saw the arm yesterday thrown out. Pender getting the start at third. Semien, LaStella, Olson again over there at first. And going around in the outfield, Canna, Laureano, and Piscotty get to start in right field today against the lefty Valdez.
One down for Jose Altuve, who collected a couple of hits yesterday after a tough regular season that saw him hit just .219. With his 2 hits yesterday, still just 2 for 11 in the postseason, but see what happens now after putting together a couple of hits. Had to feel pretty good for him.
Yeah, we talked some yesterday about him pulling off the ball. I felt like he took a pitch, went to right field with the base hit. And what happens next time? He finally gets the ball in the zone hanging, and he lines it for the big 2-run single.
Oh, that's out.
Minaya against the Astros in his career, 13 previous starts against them, 3-5 overall with a 3.27 ERA. This year 1 start against him, and just the 1.29 ERA in that performance against this Astros 9. No miss, not by much, a little high, and it is now 3-0.
Yeah, went 7 innings, gave up 1 run with 4 Ks. Valdez also 1 start this year. They both threw well against each other.
Bassett a little disappointing yesterday, just the 4+. Really both starters with the 4+ each, and I think both managers expected more out of their starters for game 1.
They did, and I thought it was interesting today talking to Dusty Baker. He said, looking back, the best decision I made yesterday was keeping McCullers in that game when he got those big outs. He did not want to go to the pen that early, and it worked out for him.
Boy, was his pen good, though, and that is a strike call. Heading down to first base. Altuve, a little over-eager there, and gets the bad news from Ed Hickox working the plate today.
Yeah, he definitely, Minaya caught a break on that pitch. 3-1, that falls off the plate. See if he can take advantage, getting back in the count 3-2.
Altuve will take ball 4 for sure this time, and he'll head down to first base. 1 out, base on balls. So Altuve aboard with 1 down in the first, and that'll bring up Michael Brantley, who today is the DH. 3 for 12 so far in the postseason. The regular season saw him hit an even 300.
Yeah, great at bats yesterday, lined a couple, and the one big hit he did have against Jake Diekman, the hard throwing lefty.
I think yesterday, going into that first game, we were talking a lot about Oakland's bullpen, but it was really the Astros who turned things around there, and it was their bullpen that really was outstanding.
Yeah, I think Matt said earlier, they kind of flipped the script on them. And even though it's only 1 game, I think Bob Melvin will tell you he's still got a lot of confidence in that bullpen, but Houston did have to love seeing what they got from their bullpen yesterday.
Minaya able to strike out Springer. He walks Altuve. Now Michael Brantley patiently awaiting his first pitch, and it'll miss away for ball 1.
And you see him after that to Springer. He was hitting his spots, been a little erratic since. You wonder if that 12 days off since he's pitched. He's only thrown 8 walks all year, so he's a guy that does not give a lot of free passes. So far, looks like a little erratic.
been in, and you're right, he continues to be so.
Well, and I think Bob Melvin had to make that tough choice in Game 3. A lot of people would have gone with Sean for that start. With that being said, the White Sox were 14-0 against left-handed pitching this year. So it seemed to work out for him, but now you're getting a guy that hasn't thrown the ball in 12 days.
That's a strike. Maybe gives him credit for the outside corner. Could have been 3-0.
That's another pitch off the plate. You feel like if Maldonado's smart in there for Houston, he's watching this knowing, all right, we might be able to get a little bit off the dish both ways today.
Double play depth are the Athletics here in the infield. A runner at first, one down, and a 2-1 coming to Brantley. First to check it first, and a short lead for Altuve, who just hops back to the bag. Easily done, was not that far away. So far in this series, the Astros have had at least one base runner on in every inning. Lots more chances yesterday to do more damage than they already did, and they take game 1. Here's a grounder to third base. Pender flips to second, underhanded, long way, and falling at the plate was Brantley. He didn't even get out of the box. TP ends the top of the first. A's are coming up. Grounding into a double play, and he fell coming out of the box. It's a slip, it appears.
Yeah, it's wet behind that plate when they first water it, but the good news for the Astros, he's okay, and no harm, no foul.
So here come the Oakland A's in the bottom of the first inning. Marcus Semien about to lead it off. He is the shortstop with Tommy La Stella at second base. Chad Pender getting the start at third base, and he bats third. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Marcana is in left with Chris Davis, the DH. Matt Olson at first base. Sean Murphy does the catching with Ramon Laureano in center, and Stephen Piscotty gets a start in right field. So it's on to the bottom of the first inning. Marcus Semien to lead it off here. Had a couple hits yesterday, and he will face Framber Valdez.
Yeah, and you see his pitch usage relies heavy on that sinker, and maybe his best pitch, that big curveball. Look for him to try to get a bunch of ground balls today. He's led the AL with 114 ground balls this year. Pitched outstanding in his 5 innings of relief in Game 1 of the AL wild card.
Semien with a couple of hits yesterday, 2 for 4 in the ball game. He leads it off today. A little different looking lineup with the lefty in there. They go with 7 right-handed hitters. As Bob Melvin changing the lineup with the lefty going today, and Valdez. There's La Stella, then Pender, who will bat third. This one is on the ground, left side, took a nasty hop. Correa with the long throw, not going to get there in time. Looked like that hit the lip of the grass, but it changed direction, stayed down. Correa made the adjustment, but Semien's able to reach it first base. It's an infield hit.
Yeah, tough place to have to make a play all the way deep short to be able to plant. Semien's fast runner. Good play by Correa, but never really had a chance. And catching Valdez today will be Martin Maldonado, one of the biggest workhorses in all of baseball. And going around, of course, you got the great infield defense of Bregman, Correa, Altuve, and Gurriel at first. And then the outfield today with Brantley DH, and you got Tucker in left, Springer in center, and Reddick today in right field.
So Semien's on to begin things here in the first inning. 9 of the first 20 batters reached base against McCullers yesterday. But then against bullpen, a different story. 1 of the last 16 able to get on. As here is Tommy La Stella, bats with a runner at first, and La Stella had a base hit yesterday, going 1 for 4 in Game 1.
Now, usually against left-handed pitching, Bob Melvin this year has put out 8 right-handed hitters. When La Stella came over and has been as consistent as he has now, the 2 lefties in his lineup, La Stella, and then of course Matt Olson at first base.
I want to ask you about the next guy, in Chad Pender, who they've elected to start at third base. Yesterday we saw Jake Lamb get the start, and the interesting part for me is not that Pender is getting the start. It's another 3-hitter for Bob Melvin. He's been all over the place with this spot in the order.
Yes, last 7 games he's had 6 guys in the third hole, which is one of those things you usually don't see. I mean, the second, third, top of the lineup usually is kind of your same guys. But definitely, for Bob's lineup, it's definitely more interchangeable than what Dusty has over in Houston. Dusty's gone the same lineup 4 days. It doesn't matter facing lefty we've seen today versus the 3 righties before. He's going with his main guys.
Shoots it foul off to the left out of play. As Listella now with a full count, 3-2. That's with Simeon at first base. Nobody out here in the A's bottom of the first inning. Valdez taking a little time in behind the mound, now climbing back up on top. Double play depth up the middle, and you got Springer, the center fielder, expecting Listella to take it the other way. Runner goes, and this one is fouled off by the Astros side of things on the first base side.
Yeah, smart move to put the runner in motion. Listella only 12 Ks this year, so definitely as a contact guy can handle the bat. And really, I think more than anything, just try to get something going here early in the game.
So not a bad combination at the top of the order for the A's, then, is what you're saying, to do something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect time. You got to trust your guy to put the ball in play and might even find a hole.
See if he's off again. He is, and here's a ground ball right side. Altuve still gets the out at second, and they turn the double play even with Simeon getting the start and taking off for second base. They're trying to stay out of the DP, but Altuve initiates the 4-6-3 twin killing.
Yeah, Simeon the first time got a really good jump. That time Valdez went with kind of the higher leg kick, and he wasn't able to get the jump. And Altuve, quick turn, have confidence to go, and of course one of the best double play duos in baseball, makes it look easy.
So 2 down here in the first inning, and brings up Chad Pinder, guy we've been talking about in the 3 spot. Yeah, generally day in and day out, a team will have the same guy in that 3 spot, and generally it's your best hitter. But a little different here for the Athletics, and Pinder, who came off the bench yesterday, hits a ground ball softly out to Altuve, and that's that in the first inning. So some ground balls in the inning, done with 1 without a score in game 2. And as we head into the second inning, we're going to see the middle of this Astros order: Bregman, Tucker, and Correa. And what a first game they had, going 7 for 14. End up with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 6 runs scored as part of the victory in game 1 for the Astros. And they're trying to do some more of that here in game 2. But what a game for those guys to start this series and kind of set the tone.
Well, and that's what Dusty had talked about. I'm waiting for these guys to get going. Well, yesterday they did, and they showed up in a big way.
2 ground ball outs in yesterday's game, the first and last outs, which is kind of amazing if you think about it.
Which is why this game to me has started interesting. You're seeing these 2 lefties really do an effort of keeping that ball down in the zone and getting ground balls.
In the air to right field, struck pretty well. Piscotty going back. He'll have room on the dirt of the track as he makes the catch for out number 1 of the second inning. We saw balls flying out of here yesterday, and that one is taken deeply to right, but it's out number 1 of the second inning.
Yeah, and you see how far that ball still went on. I think that's why that's such a key for both guys. You start seeing some fly ball outs, that might not spell well for that pitcher. 1
down. Here comes Kyle Tucker, the left fielder. And Tucker 2 for 5 in yesterday's game. Multi-hit performance for him, as I thought he may have gotten that a little better than he did. Didn't carry out of here today. He's out number 1 of the inning. He's going into a shift on the right side.
You know, we get stuck talking about the core guys for the Astros we hear so much about. All Kyle Tucker's done this year is lead the team in RBIs, extra base hits, and stolen bases, and second in runs and home runs. This guy has been outstanding, and he's a young player.
Takes the strike. 9 home runs during the regular season, 42 runs batted in. 12 starts for Minaya during the regular season, was 4-3 with a 4.50 ERA. And here's his 0-1. It's in tight.
I had a chance to talk to the Astros assistant hitting coach Troy Snicker, son of the Braves manager Brian Snicker, and he was talking about Kyle Tucker, saying this is a guy that's learning trends, learning how guys are pitching him, and he said seems his at bats each game continue to get better and better, and he's going to be a huge piece for them the next 5-6 years in Houston.
ranking near the top or at the top in many of the Astros offensive categories. And lifts one to left field. Canna over towards the line. With his sunglasses on, makes the catch below the cap high. 2 down. A big day yesterday for Carlos Correa. Not 1 but 2 home runs and part of the Astros victory. And they weren't cheapies yesterday.
No, that was a big 2-run shot for him off Bassett. And then really here from Trevino, gets a fastball in the inner half and hits it to dead center. And he's a guy that has not been shy about talking about how he feels about everything this year. But you know what? He's backing it up right now.
Shift on him on the left side of the infield. Still just 26 years old. It is 13th and 14th career postseason home runs. This time a grounder to short. Simeon throws him out, and it's a 1-2-3 second. Done with an inning and a half without a score in game 2. Coming up next on TBS, the Yankees and Rays in Game 2 at 9:30 Eastern. Game 1 of the NLDS matchup between the Padres and Dodgers on Fox. Tomorrow, Game 2 of the NLDS series. That's between the Marlins and Braves. Continues on MLB Network. First pitch at 11:08 Eastern. We will be back for Game 3 between the A's and Astros. First pitch of that game at 12:35. All games available on ESPN Radio. The full postseason schedule is available at MLB.com. It's to the bottom of the second inning we go, and here's Mark Canha, the left fielder, to lead it off for the Athletics. Davis, then Olson, featured in this second inning.
Yeah, one of these A's hitters, Don, that really feast on left-handed pitching. He's got great numbers, 333, 14 hits, and the reason he's in that cleanup spot today.
Canha getting the start in left field, leads it off here in the bottom of the second. And takes a hack at that, finds himself quickly down in the count. He has started each of the A's postseason games at 3 different positions. In right field and center field and in left field. Start comes in left field today for him in Game 2. And that's strike 3. So Valdez picks up his first K of the day. 1 down here in the second.
Great curveball by Valdez. Bottom part of the zone and locked him up. And listen to Dusty Baker today. The big thing he talked about was Valdez sometimes takes a while to find that curveball, which you'll see in the numbers here in a minute. First time through, second time through, third time through the lineup. You don't see that too much. Usually the average goes up. For him, you have to get him early. And he said whenever he finds that curveball, watch out.
That's quite backwards from what you used to see.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what when you see those numbers, and that we talked to him today, and he said, yeah, it takes him a while to get that curveball in the zone sometimes, but when he finds a slot for it, he usually gets on a nice little run.
If you're the Athletics, got to get to him early, and they're trying to do that here. 1 out in the second inning, and Chris Davis, the DH today, a couple of hits yesterday, and a 2-for-4 showing in Game 1.
His bat's starting to come to life, and a guy that has hit left-handers well throughout his career. Another year this year of over 300. Looking for some more production.
There's a fly ball sent to center field. Springer going back, battling the sun. That'll take him at the wall. It'll take it out of the yard. It's a home run. Chris Davis homered yesterday. Homers again today and puts the Athletics on top 1-0. Springer had a beat on it until he didn't. It's out of the yard. Just 2 home runs during the regular season for Davis. He's got 2 in this series.
2 in this series, on 3 in the postseason, and just their 5th game. Here's that curveball, and the other one finished low when he struck out Canha. This one middle, and again you can see where Springer thinks he's got a beat on this ball, and it just continues to go.
1-0 Athletics on the home run to center field, and here is Olson as the Astros go into a shift on the right side. Battling the sun all the way.
Yeah, fighting the sun, trying to figure out where the ball is, and you see him just put his hands up and look.
Sunglasses on, but didn't appear to help there much. Olsen 1 for 3 yesterday, had a home run also yesterday. Disappointing year average wise for him, just the 195 average during the regular season.
But you can see what he brings to the table yesterday. First at bat, he drew the walk and got driven in by Chris Davis's 2-run homer, and the next time hits a home run.
It's a piece of that, fouling it off and evening the count now at 2-2. Remember, Valdez giving up a home run here in the second inning. His first time through this A's order, they do get to him for one so far. Sure enough, the numbers backed up what we were just talking about to begin this inning. Into the shift on the right side. Altuve in short right's got a long throw, but he'll get it there in time for out number 2. Quite a ways out there. It makes it a little tricky out there at short right field in the shift, and he got it there.
Well, you can tell he got rid of that ball quick, knowing that Olsen's got pretty decent speed coming down the base pass. Good play by Altuve. Watch this. He gets rid of the ball quick. 1-2. Throws a strike to Gurriel.
Olsen retired on the long ground out into shallow right, and here comes Sean Murphy. Catcher had a home run yesterday, part of the 3-round trippers for the Oakland A's in a losing cause as it turned out. 7 home runs during the regular season.
Had the big throw out yesterday. Had a great arm. We saw great catch and throw guy. Bob Melvin talked about trying to keep him fresh, and in a 5-game series you go all 5. It's going to be tough for Bob not to put this guy in every day. That's another thing. We always talk about the pitchers during the postseason. Now all of a sudden a lot of these teams, you got, you can catch guys. Normally you play 2 days, you get a day off on your knees. Now catching 5 straight days.
And no off days in between, and it appears, depending upon what goes on with the other games schedule wise, this will be all day games here in LA. So it changes things as far as your pitching staff in this round and certainly your catching.
Yeah, which we thought coming in. Look, both these teams played their fair share of day games. Athletics the most in all of baseball, 30 games, and then of course all 3 during the wild card in these 2. So this is their 35th day game out of 65.
Downstairs that time, and it evens a count at 2-2. Murphy with 2 postseason home runs. It ties him with Brian McCann for the most by a rookie catcher in the postseason. McCann did that for the Braves back in 05 against the Astros. And he waved at that, goes around and strikes out. That is strikeout number 2 for Valdez, out number 3 for the Athletics. But Chris Davis, just 2 home runs during the regular season. He's got 3 in the postseason, 2 in this series. A's on top, 1-0. Top of the 3rd inning, Athletics have gone on top 1-0. We had the chance to catch up with the Oakland A's manager Bob Melvin in between innings, and we asked him about his starter Sean Manaea here today so far.
Good location, pretty good velocity early on. Always the changeup behind the fastball, and looks like he's locating pretty well to me.
Bob, you look at this yesterday, tough loss for you. Got to love the way your guys have bounced back today. Crisp on the defensive side, and then of course Davis, your guy with the big home run early.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way we've been here for several years now. Coming off of a tough series or a tough game, guys seem to come out and respond, and today an early lead certainly does a little something for the personality.
Thanks for this, Bob.
All right.
Well, thanks to Bob Melvin for joining us in between innings, and he gets a ground ball out induced by his starting pitcher Manaea as Gurriel grounds out to short for the first out of the 3rd inning. That is now 6 in a row retired by Manaea, and he does appear to have his good stuff going today so far.
Yeah, he looks sharp now. His stuff's really in the zone, throwing to both sides of the plate. Need him to continue to throw like this against this powerful Astros lineup.
1 down in the 3rd, and here's Josh Reddick getting the start in right field. Had an 0 for yesterday, and game 1 went 0 for 4. Yeah. So he gets tied up with a fastball inside for ball 1. Reddick now and Martin Maldonado, who will be next year for the Astros. Bottom of the order, featured here in the top half of the third inning for the Astros. By the mound, up the middle, and LaStella can't get it. It's into center field, and a base hit for Reddick. First hit for the Houston Astros in this one. One out single for Reddick.
Now, that doesn't necessarily hit it too hard. Gets a ground ball, which you want, but with them playing somewhat of a shift, just out stretches LaStella.
It's a 1 out 1 on, and Reddick, who as mentioned did not have a hit yesterday, has one today. And it brings up Martin Maldonado. He was 1 for 5 in the first game yesterday, also batting out of the 9 spot, and is now 2 for 12 in this 2020 postseason. Athletics double play depth here with one down in the third. Stella over towards the bag at second. Mariano, the center fielder, towards right center for Maldonado to go the other way. And good sized gap out there in left center. Of course, last year Manaea lasted just 2 innings as a starting pitcher in the postseason. His debut against the Tampa Bay Rays last year, the shortest such outing in Athletics franchise history. That has to be in his mind going into the start today.
Yeah, and why he's so excited to be pitching today. He said didn't get the start in game 3, wanted a chance to kind of redeem himself. Talked about it, how he has struggled with that all off season and season, waiting for this opportunity. Well, here it is for him.
45 strikeouts during the regular season, walked just 8 and walked 1 in the first inning here today, but he's been very sharp since the stretch in which he had retired 6 in a row. The MLB app is the one place to get everything for your favorite team's chase to the pennant, including video highlights, pitch tracking, and much more. Download the MLB app today for the postseason in your pocket. 1 out 1 on, and Martin Maldonado down on the count, 1-2. Gets a piece and fouls it back to the screen. We'll do it again.
Besides the one fly ball to Bregman, I feel like Sean's done a great job of keeping that ball at the bottom part of the zone, missing down. Valdez, same way on the other side. He made the one hanging curveball mistake, and Davis didn't miss it. Really has been the story so far the first 2 innings.
I think with a good sized lead over at first, held on by Olsen. And a swing and a miss from Maldonado. Chased that out of the strike zone, and that is strikeout number 2 for Manaea. 2 down.
Everything was down, and he decided to climb the ladder on that pitch. Perfectly located fastball.
2 down. Reddick still at first. Top of the order, George Springer. Fresh off his 4 for 4 outing yesterday, and a strikeout in the first today. Went looking. First victim for Manaea today, and waves at that pitch for strike 1. Frustrated Maldonado. Second strikeout victim today for Manaea. A shift on the left side. They've been doing this against Springer. Yesterday didn't work.
Springer with 4 hits yesterday, 10 games now at Dodger Stadium, Don, and he loves playing here. Look at those numbers, including the postseason here for the World Series. Yeah, you think he sees the ball good here?
Pending free agent, you got to wonder about the Dodgers' interest based on those numbers.
Yeah, right. And we saw yesterday the Astros, second time through the lineup, really start to get to Bassett a little bit. Same kind of thing where we saw Valdez's numbers kind of go down. Manaea a little different. See those numbers a second and third time through.
Swing and a miss, and he has so far been baffled by Manaea. He's got 35 career at bats against Manaea. and 0 home runs. It's the most ABs he's had against any pitcher without having a home run, and it's not really seeing him that well, it appears.
No, these guys are swinging over that changeup right now, missing it. Doing a good job. Not a guy that, you know, throws hard. He's maxing out at 91 mostly.
Soft toss over, and Reddick back to the bag easily.
But I think, like we saw Maldonado strike out, when you're able to throw the changeup the way he does and mix in some other off-speed pitches, that fastball plays up. Doesn't have to be 95.
Up and away, and a mislocation there. Full count now. On single by Reddick, he was able to strike out Maldonado, and with 2 down now. Let's see the signs again here from Sean Murphy, his battery mate. He's blowing from left to right, softly across the outfield here at Dodger Stadium. Springer will lift this in the air to left center field, and deep. Back goes the center fielder Laureano at the wall. It's gone. George Springer hits a 2-run home run and puts the Astros on top 2-1 with 1 swing of the bat. 14 home runs during the regular season, and he homers here. A 2-run shot. The Astros have the lead. Never had a home run against Minaya in the past. He does now.
A little curveball slider on the outer part of the zone, and another ball. He just got extension, got it up in the air. Look at these outfielders. They think they got a beat on it, Don. They keep running, and the ball just keeps going. That ball is 5-6 rows deep.
You watch the reaction of the outfielders, and they all seem very surprised by how far that ball is traveling. We saw it yesterday. We're seeing it again today. Well, the ball's leaving the yard as Altuve will ground it softly foul outside of third.
And we saw this yesterday. First time through the lineup. You know, the Astros had a few hard hit balls, but the second time through they made some adjustments.
Much of a breeze right now.
Yep.
Walk in the first inning for Altuve. He was erased on a 5.63 DP.
Like that.
And the recipient of ball 1 to even the count at 1-1. Springer, who had 4 hits in yesterday's game. It's a home run in game 2, and it has the Astros on top 2-1. The series he's having so far for the Astros out of the gate. Pitch 40 coming up for Minaya. Altuve to left field, and Canna will have this under control over towards the line to make the catch that will end the inning, but the damage is done. George Springer, 14 during the regular season, connects a 2-run shot, puts the Astros on top 2-1. Two to 1. The Astros have the lead. Dusty Baker's live with us from the dugout, and Dusty, you played here at this place, called it home for a while, and balls are flying out of here right now. Have you seen anything like this before?
No, never. I mean, it's unseasonably warm this time of year right now. I'm telling you, and the balls look hot, but balls, any ball that goes up in the air, you know, there's no wind resistance, no air resistance, no nothing, and balls are flying. You know, I thought George's ball was going to go out, but you know, I didn't think that Davis's ball was going to go out. So, you know, we got to keep the ball down. You know, this is the right man for the job. Framber, you know, he didn't give up many home runs. You know, usually he throws up a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, speaking of that, Dusty, we felt like talking to you. It was a good matchup for Framber today with that sinker and curveball. Really, you talked about the curveball sometimes taking him a little bit to get going on it. Really only one mistake on it today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, today, you know, usually he spikes it and it's in the dirt. You know, early, and then he finds his rhythm and finds his rotation. But, you know, he found it early, but he did get a ball up to Davis. And, you know, Davis knows what to do with it. You know, when you hang it, they're supposed to bang it. So I'm just hoping that he doesn't bang anymore.
Yesterday, we were talking about how good the Oakland bullpen is.
Right.
I'll tell you something, your bullpen is outstanding, and yesterday especially.
Well, it was. And, you know, it's getting better. I mean, these guys are learning how to warm up. They're learning how to condition themselves, not to get too hot too soon. And so, they're learning. Like I said yesterday, these guys, had to learn on-the-job training. And so, today, we don't know exactly our shape of our bullpen, but, most of it's pretty good.
Dusty, thanks very much.
All right, see you later.
One down here in the third inning. Stephen Piscotty batting out of the 9 spot. Our thanks to Dusty Baker. I love talking to Dusty Baker.
He's great, isn't he?
He really is. He called a home run yesterday, better than I could have. I know that.
Gosh. And then I love it today talking to me. He didn't even know what he said. He was just in the moment.
He said if it happened again today, we likely have to find somebody else to talk to live tomorrow.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming.
So it's good it didn't happen. We'll talk to Dusty tomorrow. That's good.
Yes.
One down here in the inning, and Stephen Piscotty did not play in the first game of this ALDS. He does today.
And this is where Bob Melvin goes with one of his veteran guys. Scotty really struggled second half this year. Hit 154 in 15 September games, but he's going to stick with him, a right-handed bat. And now he's got himself a 3-1 count, looking to do some damage.
In there for a strike. And a full count now to Piscotty with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. On the ground, softly hit towards third. Bregman will bobble it, and reaching at first is Piscotty. I think he was going to have to make that an all-one move, throwing on the run, but he can't field it cleanly. It is ruled a base hit, and Piscotty aboard with 1 out.
Well, it definitely was ruled a base hit, but knowing Alex Bregman would tell you, I got to make this play, Don. Ball just kind of rolled up, as you said, on his glove. With his arm, I still think he could have made that play. That being said, yesterday it was the error by the A's that cost them some runs.
Semien charged with the error, and it opened up the gates really for the Astros, and they had a big inning.
Yeah, and if you're looking for the A's right now, back to the top of the lineup now, you got a break, see what you can do.
And here he is, Semien, who committed that error yesterday, batting with a runner at first, 1 out. And the Athletics now trailing by a run, and a base hit in the infield in the first. And he'll take the fastball for a strike. Valdez working here into the third inning. Here's another strike. Back-to-back fastballs, and that time at 95, grabbing that inside corner.
Yeah, and he is really doing a good job to these righties of getting that fastball in and painting it.
I would imagine providing some availability on the outside corner. Semien requests time, backs out. Home plate umpire today is Ed Hickox for game 2 of this ALDS.
A little gamesmanship going on.
Well, we're good to go. And maybe not. Thought we were good to go, but Valdez holding on to the baseball. Back and forth we go. Scotty gains his lead at first, held on by Gurriel over there at first. And that is in the dirt, taken off for second base as Piscotty. Here comes the throw, and he will be out at second base. Aggressively saw the ball hit the dirt, thought he'd try to take second, but Maldonado guns him down. That's out number 2 of the inning.
Yeah, you practice all spring training dirt ball reads during the year. And just for him, the ball did not bounce far enough away. You can see the great camera work. Team gets him on the top of the shoe and the leg.
This is that base runner. Now 1-2 pitch, and that's going to miss, even the count at 2-2. Not an error, but perhaps a misplay by Bregman down there at third base. That's a play he makes 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, and Maldonado with the perfect throw. Good block. Didn't get away from him too far.
Ball 3 and a full count.
By Marcus getting back into this count. Got 0-2 with a couple fastballs in, took a couple curveballs, and that fastball weighing off the plate.
Valdez has slowed it down here quite a bit in this inning. Payoff pitch, and it'll be grounded down the third baseline and be a foul ball. Bregman wasn't entirely sure, so he fired across the infield, but it is indeed a foul ball. 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play next season. Text Little League to 313131, and T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. 2 down in the third, and Semien in a battle here. Payoff pitch coming to Semien. Again from Valdez. And that's ball 4. First walk allowed by Valdez. Comes with 2 outs here in the third inning.
Great at bat by Marcus. Taking 2 tough fastballs in, gets 0-2 against a guy with a great curveball like that. And he's able to battle back and draw the walk.
It's Tommy LaStella. The misfortune of bounding into a 4.63 DP in the first inning. Both teams have turned a double play in this game. Popped up back at third. Bregman and Correa takes charge. He strides on the outfield grass and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. We played 3. Astros have a 2-1 lead. Tonight's Base Cam is presented by T-Mobile, connecting you to America's largest 5G network. And Scotty sliding right into your living room there at second base. He was out, and great look.
Yeah, you see that the little cameras put in. Something unique.
Right down the line there as we move along to the 4th inning with the Astros on top 2-1. Michael Brantley will lead it off and will take a ball. Grounded into a 5.63 DP in the first. They were shifting and pretty close to shifting here again on him. Not a complete shift, but Semien's over towards the bag at second. Definitely for him to pull.
Yeah, both pitchers throwing good games. Sean, other than that mistake he really made to Springer, he's throwing the ball well. Reddick's ball was not hit hard, just found a hole. So you got to like what you're seeing from him if you're Oakland.
Down.
Brantley, Bregman, and Tucker. 3, 4, and 5. The teeth of this Astros order featured here in the top of the 4th inning. Been waiting on deck as it's 3-0 right now. Brantley leading it off. There's a strike to make it 3-1. Brantley at 300 during the regular season. Naya deals, and this one is lined down the right field line towards the corner, and that'll one-hop the wall in the right field corner. Brantley headed for second base. Throw goes there, but he'll get there standing with a leadoff double. It starts the top of the 4th inning for the Astros. One hopper to the wall in the right field corner.
Yeah, and Brantley, the reason he hits third, no matter lefty, righty, we saw the hit off Diekman yesterday. That's a 2-seamer running in. And he rips it off the right field wall.
105.5 on the exit velocity off the bat of Michael Brantley. And it takes us to Alex Bregman. Right out to the warning track in right field in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 today. And Sean Manaea. In there for strike 1.
And I think we're seeing Valdez, Sean, too, on that pitch. Ed Hickok's giving that inside part of the plate to these right-handers.
Strike 2. Side corner again, and Bregman questions Ed Hickok, the home plate umpire.
See, they're really working it now. You wonder if they're going to keep trying to go in there. I mean, I would if you're going to get that pitch, and just make sure if you miss, Don, you miss in off the plate.
On the ground to shortstop, and Semien will go to first. Put the runner back at second and gets the out at first base. Let's get a game break with Ernie Johnson. All right, Ernie, thanks very much. Yeah, the Braves got down in that game. They come back and win big.
Yeah, at first, and we saw it yesterday, trying to get that first win is something that, you know, is big. I think, what, I saw 70% or something win that first game, but still a lot of baseball left in all these.
One out, runner at second, and Kyle Tucker take a pitch away. Second look at Minaya, flied out to left field in the second inning.
Yeah, what a big out for Minaya to keep Brantley at second, not let him get over to third. Got two inside fastballs, got Bregman thinking about that fastball in, and then threw a pitch off the plate, off speed, and got him to roll over to short.
Now with that play to his right, no chance for Brantley to advance to third base. Semien took a good look at him before firing to first to get Bregman. And there he sits right now, Michael Brantley at second base with one down, but in scoring position for an Astros team who already enjoys a 2-1 advantage. Tucker defensively goes around. He was just trying to get out of the way, but in the process offered, according to home plate umpire Ed Hickox, who didn't even check. He called it himself. They have foul tipped it.
Yeah, it's one of those that he saw late. Probably the right call.
They shift on the right side here. The Athletics do. And a grounder up the middle. Ranging is Semien in the shift. He'll knock it down. Maybe saves a run there, but has no play at first base. But because he got there, he keeps Brantley from coming around.
Great play. As you said, saved a run, give your defense a chance. And then good job eating the ball. He never would have got Tucker at first base, happened to go that far in the hole. Good play.
First and third now with one out, and it brings up Carlos Correa, batting out of the 6th spot in the order for the Astros. On top 2-1, looking for more here in the 4th inning off Minaya. He bounced out to short, and Marcus Semien, his counterpart at shortstop in the 2nd inning. He has been terrific in the postseason. Correa, 2 home runs yesterday, part of a 3-for-5 showing. And as far as the Astros go in postseason history, 16 home runs for Springer. Correa with 14, but he's got 38 RBIs. Wow. Of course, Springer with a home run in the 3rd inning, which propelled the Astros to this 2-1 advantage that they enjoy right now as they bat in the visiting half of the 4th inning.
And got to be real careful if you're Sean here. You don't have to throw on the pitch to drive. Good spot off the plate. You see at 91. Yeah, Gurriel on deck, who is a prime double play candidate. As I said, you don't have to give in to Correa here. We see in the postseason, Don, anytime you get a rally like this, it's how fast can you kill it? How can you limit the damage? You know, McCullers did it yesterday, leaving 2nd and 3rd with no outs. here's a big opportunity for Manaea to do it.
Correa fouling it back to the screen, and it evens now at 2-2. So Manaea able to battle back out of a 2-0 hole right there. And it's now 2-2. As you mentioned, Gurriel waiting on deck here for the Astros. Still over towards second base. As Olson holds on Tucker at first. And it's fouled off. We'll do it again. 2-2. Create custom reels and search over 3.5 million videos this postseason. Watch, create, share only at MLB.com/filmroom. One out. Runners at the corners here for the Astros, and Correa battling away. 2-2 again from Manaea. Just hold on to the baseball, slowing things down.
Well, that's a big point of this game. You're facing a guy that's 6 for 11 with 3 home runs right now in the playoffs, and he's obviously seeing the ball really well. Trying to make sure him and Murphy are on the same page.
Correa grounds it foul, and the battle continues. Tucker back to the bag at first. You get Brantley at third.
Another good off-speed pitch, low, got him out in front. That's 2 in a row. He tries to go back to that to get the ground ball, or at some point here does he try to climb that ladder with that heater up.
Correa fouls it back, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, that was a good the change up, not location you wanted.
Pitch of this plate appearance coming up. Runner goes at first, and Correa grounds one to short. He'll go to first for the out, and a run will score. In the back door from third comes Brantley, and it's 3-1. Astros on top. They started the runner, so they stay out of the DP scenario there as Tucker takes second base, and the Astros take their third run.
Yeah, sometimes it's when you decide to run. That was the perfect time for the Astros to run. It was a easy double play ball, if not. Got the result he wanted, just the runner Kyle Tucker took off.
So 2 down, Tucker in scoring position now at second base, and here's Gurriel, who grounded out to shortstop in the third. He's 0 for 1. And a grounder right side. This time Listella in the outfield grass throws him out and ends the inning. But the Astros add a run to their total. 3.5 done. 3-1 Houston. Now it's game 2 of the American League Division Series. Everybody pretty loose for this second game, but it's the Astros who have come up with a 3-1 advantage in this one. The A's strike first on the home run by Davis, and the Astros with 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth enjoy a 3-1 lead. And it's to the bottom of the fourth inning we go. Peter Moylan checking in on Twitter. At what point do we admit the Astros are good? Well, they haven't lost yet in the postseason, and they've got a 3-1 lead here in game 2 of this series.
Yeah, I think everybody's probably going to do that on their own time. Not necessarily win, but they're playing great baseball now. Valdez is thrown pretty efficient, 24 fastballs, 17 curves, but a good opportunity here for the A's to get back in this ball game with their 3 big righties here, 3, 4, 5.
Chad Pinder batting a 3 spot today, grounded out to second base in the first inning. Wanting that badly was Valdez, and the 1-1 will miss for ball 2.
Well, Hickok's not giving much off that plate to these lefties on the outer part against the right-handed hitters, but as we saw the last 2 innings, giving that inside corner.
As long as he's consistent, right? I mean,
yeah, as a hitter, as long as you know
This is in the air to right center field. That struck well. Back towards the pavilion and gone. Opposite field home run for Chad Pinder. Had 2 during the regular season. It's in the 3 spot today for Bob Melvin and hits one out of the yard that makes it a 1-run contest.
Matt Olson tells me this guy's got as much opposite field pop as anybody on the team. We've seen a few home runs on. We've looked at each other and been like, this was not one of those. Fastball, middle, and he barrels this up. Listen to the backspin on it. And he knew exactly where this ball was ending up.
So 2 home runs today, both solo shots for the Athletics. Chris Davis first in the second. Now Chad Pinder here in the 4th inning. And Mark Canha will take strike 1. Credit Bob Melvin, that 3 spot he talked about. He wanted to get Pinder in there, and what does he do? He hits a home run.
He's come up with some big hits. Got the big 2-run single to put them up 6-4 on the White Sox. And now a big home run to get them back within 3-2. So I said, look, Bob Melvin. Necessarily, would you like to see 6 guys batting 3rd in 7 games? Probably not. But with that being said, he has a good opportunity to make this lineup flow a little bit different because of the versatility of the guys, lefty, righties.
Makes his manager look awfully good.
Yeah, right.
And who struck out his first time up strikes out this time. That is strikeout number 3 for Valdez. 1 down here in the 4th inning. Let's take a look at Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings. Chris Davis coming up, most barrels since 2016, and that includes the postseason.
Well, when you go through 16, 17, and 18, hit 40+ home runs each of those years, you look at the 5 guys on that list. I mean, perennial all-stars every year.
It's out of the way of what turns out to be strike 1. 93-mile-an-hour fastball grabs that inside corner. 2 for 4 with a home run yesterday. 1 for 1 with a home run today in game 2.
Okay.
The Athletics now trail by just a run after the leadoff home run here in the bottom of the 4th inning by Chad Pinder. This one is fouled off. Let's take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And the home run back in the 2nd inning.
I got one of the few hanging curveballs Valdez has thrown. Another ball we've seen just almost dead center. Not his highest exit velocity, but enough to get out of here.
Loop to right, and deep was Reddick. He's coming in full bore, and he won't catch it on the fly. It's on the hop. He knocks it down, and reaching is Davis. Reddick was very deeply situated in right field. I'm not sure he got a great break either. And that one just drops in front of him. It's a 1-out base hit for Davis.
Look, I think you're seeing all these outfielders play a little deeper than normal here with the ball flying the way it has. Reddick being an older guy, you can see, as you said.
It's not even in your picture there to begin.
Give him a little credit, though. As an older outfielder, as you age, you tend to play a little bit deeper.
You know anything about that?
Yeah, just a little bit.
1 out, 1 on. Matt Olson did go around. Grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. You always have the hose to make up for whatever mistake you made, I guess.
Thanks. Plenty.
Yeah.
I also had Andrew Jones next to me for quite a few years. That makes you look good.
That helped. They shift on the right side, but they keep it tight to the infield to the Astros. The double play scenario in order, so they'll keep it on the dirt of the infield.
See Valdez getting a little frustrated with not getting some of these pitches. That was a good take by Matt. Fastball in off the plate.
5 ground ball outs through 3 1/3, and here's a ground ball right side. Altuve will go to first to get the out there. Now this becomes a tag play, and running right into that out is Davis. So a double play as it turns out, but a home run by Chad Pinder. Pinder leads off the bottom of the 4th inning with a solo shot that gets the Oakland A's back within a run. 3-2, Astros on top. We played 4 in LA. It's to the 5th we go with the Astros on top 3-2, top of the 5th. It's 8-9-1 featured for the Astros, and Josh Reddick will lead it off and take strike 1. Ryan back out on the hill for the Oakland A's, working here into the 5th, and that was pitch number 62 of his outing. His offense got him a run back. This one squibbed back to the mound, all kinds of English, and fired to first to retire Reddick for out number 1.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Ram, built to serve, by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. And by Today's Military. Learn about opportunities at todaysmilitary.com.
Some bad base running by Chris Davis as they run into an out to end last inning.
Yeah, the only thing I can guess is that he thought Altuve was coming a lot harder at that ball maybe and was going to tag him. You know,
stop.
Yeah, well, at that point, once he was going in, you know, for him, he's a little older player. He's thinking, just go ahead and tag me. I'll get out. But yeah, definitely a little strange.
So 1 out here in the 5th, and Maldonado will drive this to deep left center field. Back goes Canny, turns around, and it'll go. Home run, Maldonado. And the Astros have their 2-run lead back again. It's now 4-2. Home run number 2 of the day for the Astros.
Yeah, gets something. 2-seamer. Gets full extension on it, lines it in the left field seats, and that's going to be it for Sean.
So 2 home runs in this game now for the Astros. Springer and more recently Maldonado. We've got a pitching change with Houston now on top 4-2.
The Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
4-2, Astros have the lead now thanks to the home run by Martin Maldonado. We've got a pitching change. Let's take a look at tonight's reliever spotlight presented by Hankook Tire. Into this game is Yasmiro Petit.
Yeah, did great work yesterday. Came in after Bassett gave up a couple singles to Springer. Altuve struck out Brantley, got a couple lazy fly balls, and here it is again. You know, earlier this year we saw Minaya go 7 innings. I just think with this game and Bob Melvin at a 4-2 point right now, he's got to bring his best guy in, and that's this guy right here to keep them in this game.
Oakland led the majors with a 2.72 bullpen ERA this season, and they're into that bullpen again, and this time in the 5th after 65 pitches from Minaya, and he departs after the home run by Maldonado chases him from this game. So he lasts just 4 1/3. And here's a drive to deep left field off the bat of George Springer, and he's left the yard again. Into the pavilion in left field for Springer. He homered in the 3rd. First pitch thrown by Petit here in the 5th. He takes out of the yard, and the Astros are on top now 5-2. Back to back they go against 2 Oakland relievers in the 5th.
We saw these hitters make some adjustments 2nd and 3rd time through. There's a ball he's trying to cut off the outer part of the plate and gets too much.
Loves Dodger Stadium. We talked about it earlier, and he does it again. Tags his 2nd home run of this contest. And here's Altuve. A big cut there. Tough way to start your outing for Petit coming into this game.
Well, if you're Springer, what better way to go into an offseason as a free agent? Putting up the numbers he is right now.
Altuve has walked. He's flied out to left, and he may have offered at that. It's called a strike. Tenth straight game at Dodger Stadium with an RBI. That's the most in Major League history, and that includes the postseason.
Definitely feels comfortable playing at this place.
0-2 coming up to Altuve. And he'll rapid foul outside of third. So back-to-back for the Astros here in the 5th inning. There's Maldonado with 1 out. That chases Minaya from the game. The pitcher is Petit, and his first pitch is taken out by Springer. It's 5-2 now. Astros on top in the 5th inning. And Altuve will strike out. 2 down here in the 5th inning. First out for Petit since coming into the game.
Good curveball. Got him out in front, sped him up with the fastball, and then dropped a good curveball on him. Look, I think, see the rotation, ends up down in the zone. You know, we saw 6 home runs yesterday, 5 now today, and you get the feeling it's going to come down to who can make the least amount of mistakes up in the zone. When that ball's left up right now, these guys aren't missing it.
It's Michael Brantley. Grounded into a double play in the 1st inning, doubled and scored as part of the 4th inning. Really thought the bullpen would be a strength for the Oakland A's coming into this series, but so far that has not been the case in the first 2 games. Brantley will line this foul down the right field line and off that protective screening. I mentioned a 2.72 ERA during the regular season, the best bullpen ERA in the majors. And this postseason has been a little bit different. Wild card games in 3 games, they give up 14 hits and 6 runs. And game 1 yesterday in 5 innings, they allowed 7 hits and 7 runs. Down the left field line, and on the run is Canna, but that'll go foul into the seats.
Well, and when the Astros come in with the record they have in the best bullpen in baseball, that's what they need them to be today, because they need to keep this score at 5 and give this offense a chance. We heard Bob Melvin say that this morning. Don talking to us, he said usually it's the other way around. Our pitching keeps them and gives our offense a chance to come back, but they're going to need that today.
Bounces in and evens the count now at 2-2. Brantley 1 for 2 and batting here with 2 down and the base is empty. He'll ground one softly down the first baseline. Over is Olsen, and he'll just tag the bag, which will end the inning. Well, the Astros go back-to-back in the top of the 5th inning. Martin Maldonado. Then George Springer. 2 solo shots, 5-2 Houston.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium, everybody. The Astros lead at 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th, with Framber Valdez still on the mound for the Houston Astros. Now has 9 innings this postseason and has allowed just 2 runs. Of course, the first outing in relief in the wild card. His teammates say he is a fun guy. He loves being out there. He works quickly. They love playing behind him. And he worked on his game in the offseason by seeing a psychologist back in the Dominican Republic to work on poise and patience. Dusty Baker says he is oblivious to pressure, and it sure helps when you have a 3-run lead.
Certainly does. And pitching here in now to the bottom of the 5th inning and dealing with the bottom third of this Oakland A's order. And here's a ground ball, kind of explodes on Gurriel, but he'll take it himself to the bag for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Murphy retired, 3 unassisted at first. And Valdez pitching here into the 5th, and just a couple of mistakes, really, I guess. Chris Davis, the home run, Chad Pender, the home run, but that's been it, really, for him today.
Yeah, he's done a good job of, if he has got a guy on, he's gotten 2 double play balls, and he's done a good job of mixing up the fastball curveball in these A's hitters.
So 1 out here in the 5th inning, and here's Ramon Laureano.
Look, baseball's a tough enough sport. You heard Matt say he went and saw a psychologist. We've seen a lot of guys do that and find themselves in a spot they feel comfortable with. And baseball, you know, more than any other sport, you talk about a game of just having to clear your mind every day. So many at-bats, so many pitches thrown, that for him it seems to be really working this year and puts him in a good spot.
Grounds it foul over by the A's side of things on the third base side with one out here in the inning. Mariano grounded out to the third baseman Alex Bregman in the third inning. Oakland had just gotten back within a run on the Chad Pinder home run in the fourth inning, but the Astros go back to back with solo shots in the top of the fifth and have a 3-run pad right now. Mariano will take strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Valdez, out number 2 of the fifth inning.
Well, great location. Comes in at 95, down in the zone, about knee high. Tough pitch to pull the trigger on.
Two down, and it brings up Stephen Piscotty, who reached on an infield hit and was caught trying to steal in the third inning. There he is in the fifth with 2 away. Piscotty backs out of the box here. Break a little of the rhythm of Valdez, who's moving along pretty well here. The 2 quick outs in the fifth inning. 66th pitch is not close on the fastball rising.
Well, you know, if the A's hitters were watching Semien that one inning, kept stepping out on him, calling time, you know, ended up throwing 4 balls in a row and walking them.
Grounded back up the middle, but to the backhand goes Altuve up into the air with the throw, and he gets it there in time. Nice stretch by Gurriel, also at first base. Good play on both ends. Altuve up the middle to Gurriel. They get Piscotty. Nice play back up the middle to the backhand for Altuve. Works out to be a 1-2-3 fifth and a 5-2 Astros lead at the end of 5. Let's take a look at TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive and the home runs for the Astros. First you had Springer, then followed up by Martin Maldonado, and then Springer again. They go back to back in the fifth inning. And the Astros enjoy a 5-2 lead. Maldonado with 6 home runs during the regular season, pops one here in game 2 of the ALDS. And it's 5-2 Astros as they bat in the 6th inning. New pitcher on for the Athletics is Mike Minor. Becomes the third arm used by Bob Melvin in this one. And surprise, Petit did not come back out again after just working 2/3 of an inning in the 5th.
Yeah, I'm guessing Bob Melvin might have liked the way Minor pitched yesterday. That strikeout on Springer to start the 8th. And right now, this A's team more than anything needs some shutdown innings to give this offense a chance to get back in the game.
To Bregman, Tucker, then Correa, who's in the hole right now. And what a day for Springer. What a series for Springer. What a postseason, really. But 4 for 4 yesterday, and that's going to get the forearm, it appears, Bregman. And he is headed down to first base, reaching for the first time in this game, and painfully so. So got the catcher on the ricochet, Murphy. That back forearm, it appeared.
Trying to throw a cutter in on him.
So down to first goes Bregman, and that'll bring up Kyle Tucker. Astros get the lead runner on here in the 6th inning. A shift on the right side are the Athletics. They keep it tight to the infield. To induce a double play ball here on Tucker, who has fly to left and singled in the infield to short. And a grounder sharply into first off the glove of Olsen. Will kick to second, and they'll get the out at first, but instead of a double play ball and a hard hit ball, getting into scoring position is Bregman with just the 1 out. With through his glove there at first base.
Yeah, caught a break after it went through his glove. One thing tough about Dodger Stadium, seeing the ball off the bat. Said it almost looked like it did go through, but at least for the A's, they got an out.
It's like he's checking out the webbing to see if it was possible. So one out, and Bregman now at second base and brings up Carlos Correa. He's done the same thing twice. That's ground out to his counterpart at shortstop, and Semien up to the task on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
We're looking at our T-Mobile base cam. All is quiet right now. Lead off second base for Bregman is about it. Gets that walking lead in scoring position with 1 away, and a 1-0 coming to Correa. Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not. This is Jerry Meals, crew chief and first base umpire. Mariano, the center field over towards right center. There's a gap out there in left center field for Correa. And a swing and a miss. He goes chasing after that pitch, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, good changeup. Had him in a 2-0 count, got him aggressive, and dropped a real nice changeup to get him out front.
So an off-balance swing there on the changeup for Correa. And backing off here is Minor off the backside of the hill. In the midst of a meeting with himself right now. We had 1 out here in the 6th inning, and trying to keep this a 3-run deficit for the Athletics. This bullpen that has been so good. A tough day yesterday, and so far today has given up a home run right out of the gate to Springer. Now a swing and a miss will even the count at 2-2.
Another changeup. Another good pitch. Same location, same result.
How about a third time?
Yeah, well, look, these A's pitchers know this lineup. They know they're aggressive in the zone. They're going to try to dominate the strike zone. Throw 2, you might as well throw 3.
Correa with a foul tip, and that is held onto for strike 3. So Correa strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Minor.
It's that knuckle curve that Mike throws. Chose to do that back foot and got Correa to swing right over the top of it. Great pitch, great comeback in that sequence for Mike. See the drop on that pitch. Those usually result in strikeouts or swing and misses.
2 down, Bregman at second base, and here's Yuli Gurriel. Gurriel out ahead of this sends it foul down the left field line, out of play.
I think left field line is kind of being nice. Ball's about 40 rows up in the upper deck. He was trying to get the head out on that pitch.
Well out ahead.
Yeah.
Well, he's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded to short, grounded to second, and 2 at bats. First time that he's faced Minor. And that's up and away, and it's 1-1.
A little interesting choice here. You know, got first base open with the lefty Reddick on deck. Seen Mike with that changeup and that knuckle curve he has can really keep these right-handed hitters off balance.
Gurriel turns on it again, fouling it down the left field line. Well back into the box seats, 1-2. A couple of groundouts in this game to short and to second for Gurriel. Doing the work on that webbing over there at first base is Olsen. We wondered if it got through there, and he's tightening stuff up right now.
Yeah, he's one of the best defensive first basemen in baseball. Probably not happy with himself knowing that was an easy double play ball for him.
It's so sharply right at him down there at first. Glances off his glove, kicks out to second base, and LaStella able to go back to Olsen to get the out. But as it turns out, Bregman steps into scoring position instantly, and now Murphy, the catcher, headed out here to talk to Minor. MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at LeMayers and at MLB, and visit LasMareas.com for full coverage. 2 down here in the 6th, and Bregman out there at second base. Trying to leave him there is Mike Minor with the Astros on top 5-2. 2-2 to Gurriel. And he fouls it off, stays alive. It's a pretty good battle right here.
Oh, Gurriel, a tough guy to strike out. We talked yesterday for a minute about last 3 years. Never struck out more than 65 times in a season, so knows how to put the ball in play. Mike's going to have to make a good pitch here. Quality pitch.
It is popped up left side, and coming from short is Semien onto the infield grass to make the catch. It ends the inning. 5.5 deep, 5-2 Astros. It's game 2 of the American League Division Series, and more home runs today. Saw a bunch yesterday, seeing more today. How about George Springer with not 1 but 2 for the Houston Astros? Oakland with home runs of their own in this game. You got Pender, you got Davis. Springer is having quite a series, and especially game 2 after a 4-for-4 game 1. His 2 home runs, part of a 5-2 Astros lead. And to lead it off is the top of the A's order here in the 6th inning in Semien. He's reached on an infield hit and walked, so aboard twice. Everything you could ask from the leadoff guy, and here he is leading off in the 6th. As he'll take a strike, and Valdez, who had just a 9-pitch 5th inning, is back out there to begin the 6th, and why not? This is just pitch 70. He's been pretty economical in his outing.
Yeah, we've seen the 3rd time through the lineup doesn't bother him, but this is where the A's, to me, some other guys have to step up these last 4 innings. Semien, Murphy, and Davis's postseason coming in today, 325 with 5 home runs. The rest of the team 151 with 1 home run. And look today, Davis with the big home run, Semien with the hit. So
for the A's has been these home runs have been solo shots. They've not had guys on the bases really to set up any kind of 3-run home run scenario or multiple runs. Shots have both been solo, one by Davis, one by Pender, and it's their 2 runs in this contest. And thinking he had him was Valdez, and he hops off the mound and was the fist in his glove there, upset with the non-strike call. Full count.
yeah, kind of let Ed Hickox know how he felt. Caves on here, ball in off the plate.
So full count, and now a fly ball headed towards right center field. On the move is Springer. Over is Reddick. It'll be Reddick who makes the catch in right center for out number 1 to the bottom of the 6th.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Utz Snacks, irresistible homestyle flavors. By DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Download the app to try it free today. And by AT&T 5G.
So 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that fly out to right field for Semien is just the 2nd fly out. A lot of ground ball outs induced here by Valdez. A little group meeting in there trying to calm him down perhaps and settle him down after he was upset about the non-strike 3 call.
Yeah, I think they're going to tell him don't be showing up the umpire. He's got some calls both ways, inside part of the zone and some early on the outer part. So probably just telling a young guy who's passionate, just keep pitching.
Veteran leadership from the Astros who were there. Altuve, Correa, and Bregman coming in to talk to him there after he got the out of Semien. And rolls along. 7 in a row now retired by Valdez. Stella takes the breaking ball that just misses away.
And look, Valdez is used to going deep into the game. He went 7 innings in 6 of his 10 starts this year. Best in the American League and tied with Darvish and Hendricks in the majors.
So 1-1 to La Stella. And that's in there for a strike. More breaking stuff right now from Valdez. Flipping up the curveball there, and he's jumped ahead 1-2. Interesting, Maldonado, the catcher, moving Altuve, the second baseman, and kind of stopping himself and falling off the mound there was Valdez on that last delivery.
Back his heel get caught.
Tommy La Stella is grounded into a double play and popped out to short. He's 0 for 2. Swings at the 2-2 and grounds it to short again. Correa's there. And that's out number 2 of the 6th inning. So 2 down. That'll bring up Chad Pinder. And let's take a look at Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings.
Surprising, that ball was absolutely hammered. Second hardest home run hit today to right center. Last time up on a fastball middle.
Ground out to second for Pinder in the first. The home run in the 4th inning. One of 2 solo shots today for the Oakland A's. The other, Chris Davis, back in the 2nd inning. Valdez working here into the 6th with 2 outs. And in a stretcher, he has retired 8 in a row for the Astros, and it's been very good today. Ahead 1-2 Pinder.
Yeah, and there just hasn't been many high stress pitches for him today. As you said, the 2 runs both on solo shots, whereas Manaea, we felt like for the first 2-3 innings seemed like he had guys on base almost the whole time. For Valdez, been pretty stress free out there.
One runner left on base in this game for the Oakland A's. That was Simeon in the 3rd inning. Stella popped out. Not a lot of traffic on the bases. 2 solo home runs. There's a 2-2 to Pinder. And it's lined down the left field line foul. And ahead, and we'll do it again. Shadows starting to creep their way towards the home plate area as we get later in the afternoon at Dodger Stadium in LA. Pinder will ground this to short. In comes Correa. His throw gets it there in time to retire the side in order. It is 5-2 Houston. The 2020 American League Division Series brought to you by Utz Snacks. Welcome back to the 2020 American League Division Series. It's presented by Utz Snacks. It's 5-2 Astros. And before we get the 7th inning started, let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Well, Don, one of the subplots of this series, of course, is the simmering animosity between these 2 teams in light of the sign stealing scandal. Keep in mind, they are staying at the same hotel here in Los Angeles during this series as well. Major League Baseball has gone to great pains to keep them apart. They're using separate entrances. They and their families have different common areas. And I am told, improbable as it seems to me, someone who's also staying at that hotel, that no Athletic has seen an Astro and no Astro has seen an Athletic in person during their stay. Of course, they're also testing for COVID-19, as are all of us. I was in an 8-day quarantine to cover this series. We are tested daily, including this morning at 6 a.m.
That's got to be pretty tough to do, I would imagine, in a hotel when you got to both teams there, but they've got it done, I guess.
Matt, you put some weight on during quarantine, 8 days?
I actually think I've lost a couple of pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You.
Impressive as it is. 8 days in a hotel room, I got to tell you, though, that's a lot. That's a long time to be in a hotel room with just yourself to talk to.
Here is Reddick to lead it off in the 7th. Mike Minor back out there. And this one is popped up, sending the catcher Murphy back towards the screen, and he'll make the play. Nicely done. Discarded the mask, had room, and makes the grab for the first out of the 7th inning.
Yeah, probably a good idea not to have them seeing each other. So
yeah, probably just as well.
Yeah.
One out and 4 in a row, retired by Minor now, and it brings up Maldonado, who homered last time we saw him in the 5th inning at the plate. That's a left center field.
Tell you what, Mike Minor, who came over from the Rangers, has had a tough year even when he came over for Oakland. Yesterday has looked sharp, hitting corners, throwing all 3 pitches where he wants.
Hasn't gone back-to-back days since 2017, and here he is in games 1 and 2 of the ALDS doing that.
Oh yeah, like you said, Bob Melvin's looking for outs from somewhere here, hoping his offense can score so he can unleash Joaquin Soria. Liam Hendricks may be the best closer in baseball right now.
Just wants to get to that point where he can use him. I mean, right
Absolutely.
Now, trailing by 3 and trying to keep this deficit at 3 right now. Get his offense back up there for the bottom of the 7th inning. He's got 1 out here in the top half, and an 0-2 pitch to Maldonado. It's grounded foul by the Oakland A's, who are housed on the third base side here at Dodger Stadium. They are the home team for the first 2 games of this series. We will shift nowhere. We'll stay at the same venue, but tomorrow the Astros will be the home team for game 3 of this series. Mariano, center field, over towards right center. Gap out in left center. Shadows almost all the way to the plate.
And you can see the infield, one of the few guys in the Astros lineup that they really don't play a shift on, playing pretty straight up. Maldonado.
In the air to right field, and back goes Piscotty with the glasses on. Will make the catch shy of the warning track for out number 2. Now here comes George Springer. Struck out in the 1st, but he's done plenty since. Home run in the 3rd inning. Solo shot after a 4-for-4 day yesterday. And in the 5th, they would homer again as the Astros went back-to-back. First Maldonado, and then the 2nd home run for George Springer of the ball game. It's all part of an Astros 5-2 lead with 2 down in their half of the 7th. And a pitch up top. The ball 1 to Springer. Colin McHugh checking in. Playoff George is real. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's done some damage. Mike Minor probably the right guy in there. Yesterday, Springer 4 for 5 is only out a strikeout from Mike Minor.
Minor's gone an inning and 2/3 in relief. The only batter to reach was Bregman, and the reason he reached, he was hit with a pitch in the forearm. It's been very good. That one runs in at 93 to Springer. Shift on him on the left side of the infield. Been doing this the entire series. Not a lot of success, especially when he hits it out of the ballpark. That shift really is not of much value. This time down to 3rd, and nicely picked on the backhand by Pinder. Is one hop throw to 1st is in time. Good play both sides. It's a 1-2-3 7th. It's a 5-2 Astros lead. Let's take a look at TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive, and the home run for Chris Davis back in the 2nd inning. And how about a great defensive play turned in by Jose Altuve up into the air from shallow center field, and a good stretch by Gurriel. All part of a great play. And what's been a fun ball game today, but the Astros, who took game 1, enjoy a 5-2 lead in game 2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. And more Framber Valdez out there with Mark Canha coming up.
Yeah, a couple strikeouts for him today, having trouble with that curveball from Valdez. Valdez only had 84 pitches. That A's bullpen, besides the Thete home run, has done their job keeping the Astros at bay. A's just need to get a couple guys on and try to get something going. Put a little pressure on Valdez.
The strikeouts, Canha went looking in the second, swinging in the fourth, and he takes strike one here in the seventh. On a strike to Canha. Ball two to Canha with Davis and Olson to follow here in the seventh inning. This postseason, Valdez had the wild card game one. That time he was piggybacking, coming in as a reliever, going 5 innings, giving 2 hits, no runs. And today he's got 6 innings so far. He pitches into the seventh, and there's Altuve in the perfect spot again. Back is second, and he throws out Canha for the first out of the bottom of the seventh inning. Back up the middle, you think it's ticketed for center? Not so much.
Yeah, the way they got him playing great, but that's his 10th ground ball out today. Something we said was key for him, keeping the ball on the ground, letting this great defense, best fielding percentage in baseball, make plays. And so far they've done it.
That's 8 in a row now, retired by Valdez. And here is Chris Davis, who is 2 for 2 in this game. He homered in the second, solo shot, single to right in the fourth inning, and he's already down 0-1. But Valdez has really settled into this outing, especially in the later stages of it. Next pitch will be the 90th of his afternoon. It's ball one. That should have been strike two.
You heard Dusty before the game tell us that he's a guy, once he settles in, they feel really comfortable.
That's exactly what has happened here today.
Yep.
He stuck with him too. No reason not to. That's strike two. And that has been a strike today, off that inside edge to the right-handed hitter.
And how many times do you play a playoff game that's still pretty close, 5-2 like this? Haven't seen a guy warm up yet for the Astros, not even move around.
You got the shadows now that have encompassed the home plate area. While the mound is in the sunshine, the backdrop and the batter's eye very much in the sunshine, and a little more challenging as the day proceeds here and the deeper into the afternoon we get in LA. One out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Two to Davis. Fouls it off to hang around here. Still 2-2. The regular season in 30 games, you hit at 200. In the postseason in 3 at 333. And 2 home runs the entire regular season. He's got 2 in the post. 2 for 2 today with a solo home run and a single. So he has picked up his game offensively at the right time. Fouled off, and he stays alive here.
Well, he's made it real easy for manager Bob Melvin to write his name in the lineup. You know, we talked about how much Bob loves Chris. You know, the last 3 weeks of the season had a tough time putting him in there against righties. Hitting 135 this year, but now has finally seemed to found his swing. And you want to ride a guy like this, and you've seen the power he has these first 2 games of the series.
Springer's over towards right center. Big gap out there in left center for Davis. Take ball 3. Matt Olson waiting on deck here with 1 out in the 7th. He's trailing by 3. with work to do here in their half of the 7th inning. Davis will hit it on the ground to short. It's picked by Correa. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. More ground ball outs induced by Valdez, and that's now 4 ground ball outs in a row. As we take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. Olsen with a home run yesterday. 1 for 3 showing, and that home run, the launch angle at 40 degrees. Hang time 6.7 seconds in the air. A blast for Olsen, who hit 14 during the regular season. He's been quiet today. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second and did it again in the 4th, but in the 4th turned into a DP. Take that up and in for ball 1.
You can see with these shadows some of the things the players are facing right now, and you see the DraftKings launch angle this season. That's second best. Talk about leverage and a guy getting power. That's him. As I said, hands out, gets full extension, true power hitter.
Ball 2 away, and it's 2-1. Next pitch be an even hundo on the day for Valdez as he takes a stroll back of the mound in the midst of a meeting with himself right now. As he falls behind 2-1 and back up on top again. Canada ground out to second. Davis grounded out to short, and now a 2-1. That's popped up foul back here. Let's check back in with Matt Weiner.
Yeah, you're talking about that launch angle, and these guys, as Frenchie can probably tell you, they know these numbers now. Marcus Semien was talking about how the ball carried here yesterday and how he likes at Dodger Stadium how they list the launch angle and the exit velocity, and he rattled off the numbers. If it's 102 and the launch angle is between 25 and 30, it's got a good chance of going out. These are different numbers than a lot of us memorized on baseball cards when we were kids.
Yeah, no doubt, Matt. Those weren't things that we saw. They didn't even really have it. You know, I think one of the big things, back when I played, I would love to know the exit velocity. It kind of lets you know how you're hitting it. But yeah, these guys know their swings. They know what they want. You know, and it shows night in and night out.
That was another pitch Valdez wanted badly. The payoff pitch here sent foul off to the left out of play. It's up over 100 now at 102. He works with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Let's see a new baseball as he throws it over to the Astros dugout and gets a new one. Valdez with 2 down here in the 7th. Again, the shadows at home plate. Light tower making some shadows to the left of the mound, but pitcher and the mound right now in the sunshine. Has to be tough right now for the hitter, and this one is sent out to center field. Over goes Springer. He sees this one, and he'll make the catch out there. For out number 3, we've played 7, and the Astros have a 5-2 lead.
MLB postseason schedule.
Yeah, coming up next on TBS, the Yankees and Rays in Game 2 at 9:30 Eastern. Game 1 of the NLDS matchup between the Padres and Dodgers on Fox. Tomorrow, Game 2 of the NLDS series between the Marlins and Braves continues on MLB Network. First pitch at 11:08 Eastern. We will be back for Game 3 of this series, A's and Astros. First pitch at 3:35 Eastern. All games are available on ESPN Radio. The full postseason schedule is available at MLB.com. Joaquim Soria is into the game, the veteran, with the pitch up and into Jose Altuve, his first pitch of this 8th inning.
Yeah, you can see the shadows playing with those players late to see that ball. Joaquim, such a great career, 13-year career, 3.01 ERA. He's had a good year this year. Relies on fastball, slider.
Altuve today 0 for 2 with a walk, and it appears that Valdez is done today for the Astros. You got a lot of congratulations in the dugout after coming off after 103 pitches. What a job he did. Retired the last 10 that he faced in this game.
Yeah, if you're Dusty Baker, that's about all you can ask from a young pitcher making his first postseason start.
Large number of ground ball outs towards the later stages of his outing. And that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, that he gets better the more tired he gets.
You rarely hear a manager actually say that, admit it, but Dusty said that to us this morning. The more tired he gets, the better his stuff gets, and it proved to be the point today.
Yeah, we saw it. As Altuve will take the strike. And that, as you got action of the pen, Paredes is up in the pen. We saw him yesterday. To be the first pitcher not named Valdez to pitch for Dusty Baker here in game 2. The 2-2 coming to Altuve.
We saw Paredes come in, throw the 6th and 7th yesterday, and 6 up, 6 down with 2 strikeouts. He had that electric fastball in the high 90s. Be interesting to see when he comes in the game where that fastball's at today.
The Astros pen so good yesterday. It's been very good so far in the postseason. A off pitch, and it's grounded foul outside of third. It's getting late. This is the top of the 8th, and the Astros have a 3-run lead right now. Two home runs today for Springer. Home run for Maldonado. Melvin has 2 home runs of his own, but unfortunately both solo shots, Davis and Pinder. All flying out of Dodger Stadium again today, as it was last night. Simeon at short throws out Altuve for the first out of the 8th inning. And that'll take us to Michael Brantley coming up. He's bounced into a double play, double, score a run, and grounded out to first, and a 1 for 3 showing for the Astros DH today.
Yeah, both games in a row. Chris Davis with the 2-run homer to put him up 2-0 yesterday afternoon. Today, same thing. Get the early lead 1-0. Have not been able to just stay on the attack though and add to those runs, and that's hurt the A's.
So the A's in the shift on the right side on Brantley.
Oh, it's down.
Ray getting ready for his possible at bat in this inning. Strike call. Soria becomes the 4th arm used by Bob Melvin in this game. And the starter hung around for 4 1/3 and gave up 4 of the 5 runs that the Astros currently have in this game. Petit charged with the run. That was a home run by Springer. There's a fly ball to left, and Canna over towards foul ground on the line will make the catch, and it'll be in fair ground as indicated by the left field umpire Adrian Johnson before he ran into foul ground, and that's the 2nd out of the top of the 8th. They'll be there for every pitch this season with the Bleacher Report app. Join a community of fans, connect with friends, and follow scores from around the league. Download the BR app today. Two down in the 8th, and it brings up Alex Bregman. 1 for 2. He has been hit by a pitch, and it's a ground ball down to third, and Pinder. And this will be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Soria. It'll take us to the bottom of the 8th of game 2. Welcome back to the 2020 American League Division Series. It's presented by Utz Snacks. 5-2. The Astros have the lead as we head to the last half of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher into this game after 7 innings from Valdez. Here is Enoli Paredes, who comes into this game after Very good outing yesterday. 2 scoreless innings yesterday. Picked up a hold in his first career postseason appearance, and he's back in there for game 2.
And he's going to come in after 7 strong innings by Valdez. Retired the last 10. Got 13 ground outs today. You talk about a guy that finished strong. 19 of his last 36 with that curveball.
Oh, that's it.
Pitch into Sean Murphy starts the bottom of the 8th inning.
Which, if you're the A's right now, even though Paredes was great yesterday, you're looking forward to seeing anybody, Don, besides Valdez. So for the A's, same way. You got a new guy on the mound. See if they can get something going.
And you look at what the hitter is looking at right now. Not an easy task, as it's more than halfway now to the mound.
Yeah, this is, I was telling you, between innings, the worst. When it's half in, half out, it's tough for you to really pick up the ball. We saw last inning Altuve, that first pitch fastball up and in.
So it's tough to see rotation, I guess is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tough to see spin.
Tardy on that, and it's 1-2, and it was 96, so he still got the good fuzz. Wondered with the work that he had yesterday, but good velocity. Changes colors on the way in.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's ball and 2 strikes to Murphy with Laureano waiting on deck. A's with work to do, and a fly ball headed to right. Reddick was battling the sun. He sees it now, runs on a slant towards the line and makes the catch. Make a late adjustment there. Did not read it well out of the gate, but makes the catch in short right field for out number 1 of the 8th inning.
Yeah, I don't think he ever saw the ball right off the bat. And Altuve, Gurriel both yelling at him, pointing, and you saw him be able to make the ground.
Does that help? I got to ask you, as a former right fielder. I mean, you got guys yelling at you from the infield. Does it help?
Well, I'm sure what they were telling him is in. At least, you know, I need to start running in. Maybe not direction right away, but you know, one of those things without the fans here, he's probably able to hear that. Where playoff game, you never know usually.
So 1 out here in the 8th, and here is Laureano. 0 for 2 in this one, and get to the backstop for ball 1. Laureano has grounded out to third and struck out looking. Mentioned the 10 in a row retired by Valdez, so it's now 11 in a row retired by Astros pitching, and Wano almost hits Laureano. Maldonado with a coaching moment, talking out to Paredes here with Robbie Grossman coming out on deck. He would bat for Stephen Piscotty here in the 8th.
We talked during the postseason, certain guys, certain things need to step up and do something. This bullpen, 4.39 during the regular season. Now 15 innings, no runs this postseason.
One of these popped up foul, back it out of play. Valdez, the starter, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, the 2 solo home runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Has kept this Oakland A's team on the quiet side offensively for the most part today in game 2.
It's just had a bug land on him. Wiped him off his shoulder.
Foul back above us. There it is. Is that the praying mantis?
I think so.
I would want that off me too, I think. Swing and a miss, and Laureano strikes out. That was a pretty nasty pitch. Goes to the slider there for out number 2 of the 8th.
Yeah, it's so tough to pick that up after you get 2 hard fastballs. You get a slider starting on the same plane and breaks off at 85 with these shadows.
Oh for 20. 6 strikeouts in the 6th inning and later in this series. And that's against the Astros relievers. There's 2 outs here in the 8th. Brings us to Robbie Grossman, who is going to pinch hit for Stephen Piscotty, who's done after he went 1 for 2. It's one of the 5 Oakland A's hits. So you got Paredes out there now, and with 2 down, Grossman trying to get a 2-out rally started. And he'll send it to center. Springer coming in a step or two, has out number 3. And the A's are gone in the 8th. To the 9th we go. 5-2 Astros. Flying out of Dodger Stadium, 6 home runs in game 1 of the ALDS. Not been a huge difference in this game. Game 2, 5 home runs. The two teams have combined 4. And it is heading out of this ballpark at Chavez Ravine in the first 2. Here's Lou Trevino, comes on for the 9th inning and becomes pitcher number 5 for the Oakland A's.
And the A's, look, 5 home runs, 4 of those, Don, as you said, been solo shots. Have not been able to get guys on and take advantage.
A's go into the shift on the right side as Kyle Tucker is going to lead it off here for the Astros. Most of the mound now in the shadows. We continue to update you on the shadows late afternoon in Los Angeles. Tucker today has flied out to left, singled in the infield, and grounded out. His 4th at bat comes here in the top of the 9th. Astros trying to add on to a 3-run advantage. You have both closers up in the pens right now. Trevino takes over for Soria, who had a 1-2-3 8th. Right now it's 9 in a row retired by Oakland A's pitching, as you've got Grossman now in left and Canna moving from left to right. Piscotty was hit for by Grossman in the bottom of the 8th inning. So a different defensive alignment in the outfield for the Athletics as we move to the 9th. And there is Hendricks. Not had the chance, Bob Melvin that is, to use his closer in a save situation, at least not in the first 2.
Now this is the A's bullpen that we're used to seeing all year. The guys come in, put a bunch of zeros up on the board. Just for Oakland on the other side, they have not been able to score and help the bullpen out.
There's Presley. Want to make sure to take care of game 1. She did, and he's out there getting ready for the bottom of the 9th. There's a ground ball to the right side into the shift, a long way to LaStella, and not a problem as they get Tucker for out number 1 of the 9th, and then the shift works out well. 1 away, and it'll bring up Carlos Correa. Correa connecting yesterday on a home run off Lou Trevino.
They got a 2-seamer in on the hands and pulled those hands in beautifully and shot it to dead center. The 2nd home run of the day.
Correa 0 for 3 today. He's been one of the more quiet Astros on this offensive attack. Did pick up an RBI though in the 4th on a ground out, and it scored Michael Brantley in the 3rd Astros run, so he has contributed.
And that was a huge play in the fact that it was 2-2 count and they sent Kyle Tucker. If they didn't send him, that's a double play, inning over.
Oh, that's out.
Ten in a row retired by Oakland A's pitching. Strike called, the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 2-1 now to Correa. Ryan started this game 4 1/3, giving up 4 runs. He gave up a run, a home run, and 2/3. The Astros 5 runs today. Miner, Soria, and Trevino coming out of the pen have all been very good.
And it was Correa's home run off Trevino yesterday. He was 0 for 11 previously facing him. First hit, and it was a homer.
2-2 almost hits him, man. It's a full count now. Look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Athletics. It's the top of the order. Semien, Stella, and Pinder scheduled bat. Anybody gets on, Cano would have a chance. And that is ball 4 to Correa. 1-out walk here in the 9th inning. That'll bring up Gurriel. Gurriel 0 for 3. He's grounded to short, grounded to second, and last time up popped out to the shortstop, Marcus Semien.
And with Pinder batting third next inning, something to keep an eye on too, Jake Lamb. See if we see him come in and possibly get a pinch hit depending on the situation.
Held on over there at first base by Matt Olson with 1 out in the 9th. Gurriel chasing that pitch. A bit of a cut to it, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that's been his bread and butter pitch when he's going well, as that cutter.
On the corner at 96, and it's 1-2 now to Gurriel.
Yeah, missed a spot trying to come in with the two-seamer. Painted it away. Now he's got a chance if he wants to run one in, try to get a rollover double play, or if he goes back to that cutter.
You know, off the backside will pick up the rosin. And go back to work here ahead of Gurriel, 1-2, with 1 out here in the 9th, and Correa at first base. On the ground towards second, LaStella flips to second for 1. It's on to first, and it's in time. It's a DP. 4-6-3 on the inning-ending double play. Last chance for the A's. Been a fun game 2, not so much for the Oakland A's, and not so much for that praying mantis who got pushed off the shoulder. As we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, as Ryan Presley, the closer, into this game for the Astros in a save situation. Took him just 7 pitches to have a scoreless inning in game 1. He's out there now with a save on the line.
Yeah, Semien 4 for 8 off from career. And look, you said if they can get a couple guys on, they got Davis at 5 and Olson at 6 as their kind of big Bob power guys to give them a chance to tie this ball game up.
96 up and in from Presley. We just wanted him to finish off the game yesterday, be sure. In the non-save situation, he picks up the game finished in game 1 and trying to pick up the save here in game 2. Falls behind 2-1 to Semien. There's LaStella, then Pinder anticipated, but as you mentioned, we may see Jake Lamb. That's ball 3.
And here you got to be selective. Astros have retired 13 straight batters for the A's. You just want to get somebody on and try to make a little noise in this 9th.
10 recorded by Valdez. Paredes retired all 3 he faced in the 8th. Semien swings away and fouls it back, and it's a full count down. A's need some base runners here in the 9th. Full count to the leadoff hitter, Semien. Fouled off again. 96, and that was belt high. Well, it's hard hitting, high flying professional wrestling at its best. All Elite Wrestling is boundless. AEW on TNT. Watch Wednesday Night Dynamite at 8. Payoff pitch coming to Semien. Fouled off again to the right. The battle continues. More fastballs poured in there by Presley.
Yeah, I think you're going to continue to see that. Look, the last thing you want to do is take a chance and throw something and give him first base on a walk. If you're Semien, you got to be ready for this fastball.
Semien lines it to left. Tucker is not going to get there. It's in for a base hit and a good start to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Athletics. Good AB right there by Semien.
Yeah, you're waiting to get anything going, anybody on base. The fastball in the outer half and pulls it. So that hit there, hopefully, from an A's standpoint, gives them a little something, gets them going. As I said, if you're the Astros, you're looking down at that lineup towards Davis and Olsen, knowing what they can do.
First hit for the Athletics after the 5th inning in the series. And that breaks up a string of 13 in a row retired in this game by Astros pitching. It's a base hit for Semien. And it's ball 1 to La Stella, who's gone 0 for 3 today. Grounded into a double play, popped out to short. Last time up, bounced out to short. They shift on the right side, but keep it tight to the infield with a double play possibility. And that's going to miss, and that is going to send Maldonado out to talk to Presley. And others will join this conversation. Bregman and Correa coming in from the left side to join the conversation. A sit given up by Presley to begin things here in the bottom of the 9th.
That's why they always say that the 3 last outs are the hardest outs to get in the ball game. Play with so many guys that could do it in the 8th, could do it in the 9th. Presley's done a really good job taking over for Ozuna this year in the 9th. We've got a big ask here.
That's a strike. High strike at that with a fastball again. They shift to the infield. They are shading Stella to go the other way in the outfield with Springer over towards left center. And that's ball 3. Fastball up again. If he's missed with a fastball, that's where he's missed.
Yep.
Pinder, then Canna. And a 3-1 to La Stella. That's in there for strike 2. Ended up taking it, and it was a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, look, good pitch to hit. At the same time, La Stella, who does not strike out much, he's not scared to hit with 2 strikes. Professional batter, he kind of knows I'm probably getting the same pitch right here.
Stella lifts a fly ball to right center field. Over goes Springer and Reddick. It'll be Springer who takes charge and makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 9th inning. Looking up into the sunshine. It's a tough field right now in right center. That's where the sun setting off to the left and in the eyes, but Springer makes the catch 1 away. Here comes Chad Pinder. One of the 2 home runs today for the Athletics. His came back in the 4th inning. Up with Semien at first and 1 out in the 9th, trailing by 3. Besides the home run, which was a solo shot in the 4th inning to right center, he's grounded out twice. 1 for 3 day. Or the Athletics' third baseman. Takes the pitch high for ball 1. We're looking at our T-Mobile base cam. The lead for Semien, who has not yet stepped off the bag. Now he does. There it is. Swing and a miss. Evens a count of 1-1. Back in the 4th, Chad Pinder able to do this.
Got a pitch out over the plate. Absolutely drove it halfway up those stands in the outfield. And with the left batting Lamb, I think you're seeing why Bob Melvin's sticking with Pinder. Good swings today.
This is with a fastball low that time and falls behind Pinder. 2-1. Taylor up in the pen. Saw him yesterday. Coming right now for the Astros. Interesting with their closer Presley in the game right now. And a foul off to the right will even the count at 2-2.
Most of the time I would say the same thing. I just trying to think along with Dusty Baker. Got to imagine your team has played really well today. You got an outstanding game from Valdez, and if for some reason he does struggle to get a couple more guys, you know, when Olsen comes up with the left-handed bat, might be a better matchup.
Wonder what kind of message that sends Presley here, if he even notices. The 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball headed to shortstop. Correa to second for one. On to first. That's two. And that's the ball game as the Astros on the double play end this one and take it 5-2. And it is the Astros who have won the first two games of this best of 5 in this American League Division Series. And Presley, who gave up the leadoff base hit, is quickly erased as he's able to induce the double play that ends this ball game. And what a day for George Springer. After he had 4 hits yesterday, able to collect 2, both home runs in this game today in game 2.
Can't say enough about what he's done in Dodger Stadium just in these 2 games. Here he gets a changeup on the outer part, deposits it to left center, and then comes up again, gets a fastball off the plate from Petit, and another home run. Great game.
We are ready to send it to field level, and Matt Weiner.
All right, guys, George Springer now has 17 career postseason home runs. That is most in Astros history. And we talked the other day, and you said the numbers in the playoffs just don't matter, but you are piling them up right now here at Dodger Stadium, where you have 10 straight games with at least 1 RBI. Why so comfortable in this series and here in particular?
I don't know. You know, I'm honestly just trying to help the team. You know, like I said, stats don't matter. Just go out and play. The most important thing is that you win the game. So, you know, I'm happy to help.
The playoffs are supposed to be tough, but Framber Valdez has now given up just 2 runs in 12 innings of work in his first postseason. How good has he been?
He's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable all year. You know, I don't even really know how to explain it. He's been throwing the ball incredible all year. Extremely smart. You know, he knows how his stuff plays, and he goes out there and he executes.
We've talked about this team's record in the regular season and some of the down years offensively, given the small sample. How large is the gap between the regular season production as a team and as individuals and the postseason potential for you guys?
Again, you know, it's a 60-game year. You can't really look into stats or offensive anything. You know, it's about honestly staying in the moment, staying within yourself, and whatever happens, happens.
Congrats. We'll see you tomorrow with a chance to sweep.
Appreciate it.
It's, as Pedro Martinez might say, a double ding-dong Johnson day for George Springer, guys.
All right, Matt, thanks very much. It is indeed, as the Astros have taken the first 2 games of this series. They win 5-2. Coming up next, game 2 between the Yankees and Rays at Petco Park. Special thanks to Major League Baseball, Camera Corps, and Shutt Sports for all their help and hard work. TBS is the exclusive home of the 2020 American League Championship. For Jeff Francoeur, Matt Weiner, and the rest of the crew, I'm Don Orsillo. See you tomorrow for game 3 from Los Angeles.